Life gon' sometimes be like hand sanitizer and a paper cut. We all get forcefully thrown into this world, and some of us are born into hospitals, while some of us are born into dumpsters. In your early stages of life, you're learning to walk, speak, and become a future gooner, but you don't know all of that yet. As you get older, you start to pick up certain skills and interests that at the time you don't even think too deeply about. When I was younger, I was making Lego animation videos and doing origami. Like, no bullshit. But all that nerdy that I used to do wasn't even cool back then. While motherfuckers was out here playing basketball and snapping they school crushes, I was doing arts and crafts. Not to say that I wasn't doing the other stuff too, but who said I was doing any good at it? We all thought times was so simple back then. Back then was the era of doing homework without ChatGPT and what most people consider the best years of the 21st century, which wouldn't be completely wrong. But regardless of what, for teens and young adults nowadays, growing out of that era during a literal global bat disease outbreak got most of us asking, how do you be happy? Don't get it twisted, I'm not a philosopher, I'm just a regular dude. And this is not my typical type of video, but I can answer the question for you very, very easily. At some point, once we gain full consciousness, we start thinking, damn, how many people like us? Or what do people think of us? All of a sudden, your parents' opinions of you ain't matching the vibe you have. You want to dress like you Cardi, but your mom says she getting you a therapist tomorrow. Or just in general, from like middle school to even your college days, people's perceptions of you are always going to find a way to somehow be in your face. I'm not going to be cliche and say it don't matter, because we already know that in today's day and age, hate is a literal drug. People love to hate. You could think you the prettiest girl in your city and people still gonna call you chopped. You could have all the girls on your body, but there's always gonna be that one girl who think you a goofy ass little nigga. People always gonna knock you down. They always gonna call you a weirdo. And with the billions of people on earth, comparison will always be a killer. From that point on, you start loving what you got a little more once you see the bullshit going on in everyday life. You realize you don't need that yacht or that chain. You just really want to be a human being able to live their best life. But even then, you start questioning if that car you got is even all that cool, and you forgot that it still drives from point A to B. You start looking at your significant other thinking you could get an upgrade like there's some expandable object. And in the end, if you look at things in such a surface level way, of course they're replaceable. But it ain't even about what's in front of you, it's about what it does for you. And same could be said about money. As a kid, I just wanted to be rich. And then I realized almost every person I could think of that was rich was also famous. The way I begged my mom to be on Disney Channel just to get a lick of some clout was honestly crazy. And once I was told no, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna be a doctor. But then I realized that took more school. So then I said, I'm just gonna be a lawyer. But wait, that also takes school. And like back then, it was all just a fun dream to be rich. But even if you got a chance to be in streaming university and was able to stream for hours doing some questionable activities for some clips and views, even if the paychecks was hitting, I'm not doing that. And as I get older, I see myself still staring down McChickens and lukewarm water. And I realize I still want to be rich. However, money isn't everything. People die for money. People sell their souls for the money. Look at OnlyFans. Even some people on this very platform be doing some buck wild shit with some motion. One thing about me though, I'm always gonna stay 10 toes. If I ever get big on this shit, all of y'all here right now is eating at my table. Even then, there's still some people out there that'll try and determine their greatness based on places they've been, shit they've seen, or shit they've done. But nobody really cares about you being valedictorian after you graduate. No one cares that you had a hit song once you fall off. You could go to Punta Cana, Hawaii, Japan, France, Alabama, all in the same year and have the time of your life. But at the end of the day, it's about what you're doing right now. If the shit you're doing has no real impact in your own eyes, it's practically worthless. As for me, y'all know I love doing this. And I'm smiling with the McChicken in my hand. At the end of the day, you just gotta trust your vision, trust your process. People not gonna see it the way you do. A lot of people might look at my channel and think, they might think a lot of things. But you feel me? You gotta do what you gotta do. D Rose didn't know he was finna get injured and his career would get stifled. Cardi B didn't know she was finna be a rapper when she was putting shit in dudes' drinks. But guess what? That ain't stop either of them from having great careers. Well, D Rose maybe, but the point is, the second you try to control everything, you ain't gonna have control of nothing. Nothing. I can name a plethora of people, but the point is, find what you love and literally make love to that shit. Something you love so much that you could go blind, deaf, lose your wife and kids all in the same week, but you could still say, I love my life. And that is how you become happy. Alright, end the video.